If you ever wanted to learn how to change color of models' clothes in your photo, or maybe the color of a car, a flower, a door, or even turn a lemon into a lime, you've come to the perfect place. Stay with me till the end and you will see how easy it is. Hi! Today I will show you not one, not two, but 3 ways how to change color of any element in Photoshop. Why 3 ways? So you know how to deal with any situation. Let's get started. I strongly encourage you to stay with me to the end. As always, at the end I will give you a quick summary with the most important points. And now we can start. If you've ever worked with Photoshop, or at least you've seen some tutorials, you know that to perform one action, you can use at least a few methods. Sometimes one method works better, and sometimes the other. It's no different in this case. All 3 presented methods were great, but the last one is my favorite. Let's jump into Photoshop. We start by creating a selection of elements that we want to change color of. Pick Quick Selection tool. Keyboard shortcut is the letter W. And paint over the element you want to add to the selection. If you accidentally select too much, press and hold Alt Option key and remove the unwanted areas. We will be creating masks, so later you can always come back to it and adjust the selection you created. Since this is not a tutorial about creating selections, to save some time I will do it very quickly. Of course, you should take as much time as you need to make it great. If you want to learn all about masks and selections, I made a dedicated tutorials. You can find links in the description. With the selection ready, go to the Adjustment Layers menu and choose Hue and Saturation. Check the Colorize option and use the sliders to choose the color you want. Top slider is responsible for hue, the middle one for saturation, and the bottom one for brightness. Remember not to overdo the changes. Be especially careful with brightness, because you can use detail and your image will look unnatural. By lowering the saturation and manipulating the brightness slider, we can even make a t-shirt black or white. Great! Let's hide this layer and add another one. This time, solid color. Now we will copy the mask from the layer below. Or you know what? Let's do it in a different way. Instead of copying the mask to every new layer, let's put them all into one group and add mask to it. This way, the mask applied to the group will affect all the elements that are in it. Select all layers and use shortcut Ctrl+G to create the group. Now with Alt Option pressed, drag the mask from the Hue and Saturation layer to the new group. If you find what you've seen so far helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the thumbs up button. That would be very helpful. Ready? Let's move on. Okay, now double click on the color layer icon and select, for example, green. Now we need to change the blend mode of this layer. From the drop-down menu, choose, of course, color. As you can see, when we set extreme light or dark colors, our model's t-shirt doesn't change color neither black nor white. We can handle this without any problem. Let's choose gray and add another adjustment layer. It can be either curves or levels. Let's use levels. Here, by manipulating the light and dark tone sliders, we can adjust the brightness of our color. That's how we get black, and that's how we get white color. The third method is my favorite and I use it most often. It is the easiest and most precise way to control both the color and its tone. I'm talking about gradient map adjustment layer. Let's add one right now. New adjustment layer, gradient map. Click on the gradient to edit it. We will leave the top part as it is. Just make sure you have selected the basic black to white gradient. All the magic happens here, down below. The left part of the gradient is for shadows. and the right for highlights. To get the black color, move the black marker to the right. To get the white color, as you can guess, move the white marker to the left. To get any other color, all you have to do is to add a new point to the gradient by clicking below it when cursor turns into a hand. Now open the color window and define it by clicking on the color picker. Or, if you know a specific hex code, type it here. Now, if you move the added point to the right, the shirt will become darker because you will increase the effect of the shadows. If you move the point to the left, you will increase the effect of the lightness and the shirt will become lighter. With two additional markers, you can very precisely define the intensity of lightness and shadows between the main points. Okay, now look at the last example. Here we will change the color of 3 elements. I'm going to use a different method for each of them. First, we'll take care of the lips. Let's make a selection with Quick Selection tool and add new adjustment layer. For lips, a gradient map would be great. If you wanted to get black lips, there you go. But let's assume that our model have eaten some berries or has spent too much time in the cold water, and let's change the color of her lips to purple. Choose it manually or enter a specific code, such as 3E3567. Click OK and use the slider on the right to add some shine to the lips. Now we'll take care of the beret. Let's choose Quick Selection tool, create a pre-selection and go to Select and Mask option. Here we make a super fast edge correction. And when it's done, in the output options, we will select the selection and click OK. Now add a hue and saturation layer, check the Colorize option, set the dark green, and we are done. Great! Here we have a lady who is a member of the Green Berets who has just walked out of the cold sea. But why was she swimming in the wool beret? Anyway, the third element we will change is the eyes. Let's do this. Zoom in on the image. Select the elliptical marquee tool and create a selection. Press and hold Shift to create a perfect circle, and with the spacebar pressed, move it to the center of the eye. Now choose the traditional lasso, and with the Alt Option key, subtract the upper part from the selection. Great! You already know what to do next. Add an adjustment layer, solid color, select red, and change the blend mode to color. Now repeat the operation with the second eye. And set the color to gold. Look, how cool is that? Okay, it's time to quick recap. Here are the most important information. To change color of any element in the photo, one of the best solutions is to first make a selection. To create it, use the tool best suited for the situation. For example, the Quick Selection tool. Now add the new adjustment layer, like hue and saturation. Set the new color by manipulating the sliders. It's a good idea to use the Colorize option. Want to make additional refinements? Add a new layer, like levels, and clip it to the layer below. Here, use the sliders to refine the new colors. And it's done! Awesome! You've learned 3 ways to change color in Photoshop. Remember to check out my other tutorials. There's a lot of interesting stuff in them. And that's it for today. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you don't do it yet, and click the notification bell. you will be always up to date. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section. That's it for today. Bye!